One of the things I like about living on the island is that I get a more or less constant blast of beauty. This is the forest trail that leads from my son Robert's cabin in the woods to our place. We're about halfway between the two spots now, and yeah, I just wanted to share this sort of beautiful winter morning with you. I'm sure I'm thankful to be here. Well, about a month ago, the people at Metal Tech sent me an email. I've bought lots of scaffolding from them before, and I really like their stuff. They've got this new product. They call it a scaffold bench. They wanted me to take a look at it if I did like it. Sounds like a great idea. You've got to hack in, and I feel like I'm cutting into a mummy here. The Metal Tech scaffold bench system. Support rollers. Looks pretty heavy duty. I guess in addition to functioning as a bench, you can also work off of it a little bit.
You're probably the only guy I know who might possibly dull his utility knife just unboxing tools.
Yeah, I do go through a lot of utility knife days. This is my favorite knife. I don't know if I've ever explained this. It fits nicely in your pocket. It's a Milwaukee. You press the button and then you go, and it's open, just like that. Nice and fast. They have another model that holds extra blades in the handle. This is just the basic one. It's a regular utility knife, so you can take it out, flip it around, lock it in place. It is currently the best utility knife in the world as far as I've seen. Why don't I work at it for a while and then come back and show you what this thing looks like. Wind noise have ruined the original audio on this footage, so I'll just tell you what's going on here. This is the platform. You can stand on it, and then these uprights plug in. On top, there's a removable wire shelf for when the unit is in storage mode. This is the outfeed roller that you can adjust to support longer pieces of wood that you're cutting or working on. You can also flip the platform over and you expose these rails here for bolting down a chop saw. So that's the chop saw side of the unit right there.
How's this thing work?
Well, it's kind of a specific use tool. It sits down on the ground and it can transfer a spot. So if you wanted to make a spot directly plumb from, say, this bolt, you'd put this over top and it's going to broadcast a line straight up. So I'll show you how this works when we're actually using it on a project. But for now, let's just light it up and see if it's going to work for us. It comes with a couple of batteries. Okay. Not as bright as I would have thought. Maybe I didn't put the batteries in right. Yep, I put the batteries in wrong.
That would do it.
That would do it. In fact, that's what did it. Ah, look at that. Something is happening. The spot down here would be on our reference spot. If you go and look at the ceiling, that's a perfectly level, perfectly plumb transferring. It's going to come in very handy when we're building that railing for your place. Thought you might like to see a little shelf unit I made up in our outdoor fabric shelter. It's fast and easy to set up and very heavy duty. Concrete blocks, 2 standard height blocks here and then a half block. Gives me enough room between the 2x12s for lots of stuff. 7 feet long with a column of blocks in the middle. And there's also a half block underneath to get the wood up off the ground. This took me about an hour to put together. It's just a great shelf. I want to show you a few different torches that I've got at my place. This is the one I've had the longest, and it's a great torch. Unfortunately, they don't make it anymore. I'm not sure why. This is another torch. I use this for auto body work when I want to use lead to fill holes. So it's kind of a softer flame. This, I think, is the best propane torch head on the market right now. It's an all-metal body, very strong. Built-in igniter, it'll keep on burning. You just press this button and you get a flame. I've got 2 of these so far and I use them all the time. So here's another torch that I use. It's an oxyacetylene torch. It generates more heat than a propane torch, and one of the uses I put it to is for facing stone. This is a stone that has a natural surface here and a sawn surface there. If I was working the stone, I would be chiseling around the outside to get rid of that sawn surface. I can't always chisel off the stone right in the center. This torch lets me give it a natural surface in a different way. So there's 2 fuels here. One is acetylene. Like this, it doesn't burn very cleanly, but once I add a little bit of oxygen to it. Very hot, concentrated flame. Kind of limestone reacts in an interesting way. Stone flakes off under the heat and creates a much more natural surface. My old tractor's been smelling a bit like gasoline lately. I see under here there's a shut-off valve and a sediment bowl, and even when that valve is shut off, I've got some gas leaking here. Probably from that fitting. This tractor has been remarkable. It has lived outside for 30 years, and I've done almost nothing to it. So I certainly don't feel bad about having to tighten that up. But next time I'll show you what that looks like. Just finished our wood cutting session here. Hope you can see it. The days are short, and that's why they have headlights on tractors. So this is how I hone chisels and plane irons. I use a buffing wheel. I've made this setup myself. It's a hard felt wheel. I charge it with a buffing compound. When I turn it on, it's an extremely fast way of sharpening things. So this chisel was dull. It's been about a minute or so on the wheel, and it should perform very well. Yeah, the hairs are just popping right off there. I'll make myself bald on my arms here.
I mean, you'd have to be at it for a while.
That's end grain cherry. Well, thanks for watching. If you want to learn how to sharpen chisels like this, check out my online course in the description box. And come back next week for a new episode. Subscribe, like, hit the notifications bell, and be sure to sign up for my free weekly email newsletter. More than 27,000 people get it every week, and they love it.